Fuck.
Giving ends with no regret. Mashing the toppings, back of the onion necks. Talking the talk with Kate and Jim. And walking the walk, just listening. The perfect match, Kate and Jim. Getting at it, Kate and Jim. I'm gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter. Mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, Kate and Jim. Getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter. Mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match. Jim will always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, Kate and Jim. Getting at it, Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter. Mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jim always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter. Mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jim always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue and let you stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing. Or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the perfect match. It's the 21st of October. Apologies for being so late. I was meant to be at the dentist 20 minutes, ended up being there an hour, and then we had a power cut. So it's been one of those days, but it can only get better. But can it get better? Because what a weekend. Tottenham won, Arsenal lost, Chelsea lost, West Ham got battered. Could it get any better than that? But as always, I'm joined by my co-host Jimbo, Mr. Chang and AJ. Jimbo, first of all, how are you doing?
Well, it was a perfect weekend, so I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
What could have gone right went right.
Exactly that. Mr. Chang, good to see you. Thanks for holding the fort. How are you?
I am doing very, very well. The last 3 days since Friday have been an absolute blast. Being able to spend some much needed time with my family, and I just got some good news in the form of a possible job interview before the end of the month. So things are looking up for me. I cannot thank each and every single one of you, Mr. Boxall, Miss Kate, for all your support, all your help, even your guidance. This has been a very tough month for me to pull through, but I can only speak about the results, and the results have been nothing but fantastic. I'm sure we'll get into all the key matches, but otherwise, doing very well over here in Southeast Asia.
Good.
Excellent news, Chang, and best of luck when your job interview comes round. I'm sure you'll smash it.
Yeah.
Mr. AJ, good to see you, sir. How are you diddling?
Oh, I'm always diddling, always on and off screen. Yeah, no, brilliant weekend on and off the pitch. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Tottenham Hotspur, for shutting those caravan pulling, bubble blowing, I'm so happy that they got put in their place. And let's face it, they weren't the only London club to be put right in their place, were they? So
No.
yeah, incredible weekend. I can't wait to dive into it, to be honest.
Excellent.
Hey.
AJ's, yeah.
Just before you start, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to Bobby and Coover again, because that
Yes.
intro, every time I hear it, it gets me going. It's fantastic. So thank
Oh,
you. To
hello.
Bobby
We
and
don't need
Coover.
anything to get you going, darling. That's all we need. I'd just like to say, I did ask AJ if he'd like to be super sub on the show today, and I got a full rendition of Ain't No Mountain High Enough, which was an absolute treat. Never knew AJ had such hidden talents, but there we go. He should be on stage. It made Jimbo absolutely wet himself. So, yeah, thanks for that, AJ.
You're welcome. Absolutely welcome.
Before we delve into the games, let's have a look who's in the chat. We've got big up Anthony Clark, who says, big up Kate and Jimbo. I'm ready and waiting for my cooking. Oh, yeah, how did Arsenal get on? Chang doing the good, spreading the good word, apologising on our behalf because we was running late today. Yusuf saying, brilliant weekend. Chelsea fans crying about referees and Arsenal dropping points. Shame Wolves didn't hang on. Lucky City. Yes. Are they lucky, or they just mentality monsters who literally never give up? Good afternoon, Shemtan says, good afternoon, Princess Kate Jimbo. It's not Mr. Royale Senior today, it's Mr. AJ. And the youngest, nicest looking old man, Mr. Chang. Hope you're all doing well on this Winners Monday. Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham all lost, we won. Let's go. Exactly. Yusuf saying the Anfield pitch was wet from cold palm and melting. Yes, let's be fair. They kept him very, very quiet. Considering he's meant to be one of the best players in the Premier League, he was absolutely nullified. Then again, so was Haaland as well. So AFC Matt says, Jimbo and Kate, big up to you. Mark says, big up Mark, big up all. Chelsea lost at the weekend as well. Oops. Big up Spurs GCTV. Been a member for 8 months. Says, all right, my lovelies. What a weekend. What a weekend indeed. Yes, you are going to get cooked, Matthew. Prepare yourself. Big up Leo. Says a very good morning from Denver. Big up to you, Leo. Afternoon, Fiona. Good to see you, lovely. Johnny Bethnal Green says, banging weekend. We're good. Thank you for asking. Hope you're well. Afternoon, Kate, Jimbo, and all. Hope you had a great weekend. Of course, we had a great weekend. Tottenham started it off on Saturday, and it just got better. Bobby K, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend himself is here. Big up, Bobby. Was just saying thank you again to you for that unbelievable intro that never, ever gets boring. Afternoon, Drew La La. Hope you are well, lovely. Jess is here. Good afternoon to you, lovely. Hope you're good. Oh, Joey Barton's coming in with Solankity Blank. Yes, he was unlucky. We'll go into Solanke, but I do feel he's a little bit unlucky at the weekend. If Colesberg did weekends, what a weekend it was. Chemtan says, I'll take back my hello to Mr. Royale Senior and say a very happy hello to Mr. AJ. Yeah, he's out doing big time things today, Nick. So, you know, we've got our super sub AJ in the house. Big up Daniel Coys, good to see you. Am I missing anyone? Wow, I'm so behind. Class intro, thank you very much. Big up Paul Pablo, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Munzi, who says United finally won. Yeah, some good performances as well from the Man United team. Big up Steve RFC. Mr. Kaufman, loving the taste of battered hammers, seasoning a sea of Gooners and Chelsea tears. I love it, Ben. Is there anything more tasty than that? Very good win for Spurs after losing the first goal. Exactly, Steve. Matt says, clever when it's City, cheating when it's Arsenal. Oh, hang on. Anyone got any salt? There's definitely some salt needed around here today. Perhaps you could have some salt with those tears and the West Ham battering as well. Lovely jubbly. I think City mentality monsters, best teams keep going to the end. Exactly, Steve. Tom 81 is here. Good afternoon to you. Good to see you. Always lovely to see you, Tom. Mario as well says, afternoon, guys. Great win, Jimbo. Right again. Come on, you Spurs. He was wrong. He did a clean sheet. He was right with the win, but wrong with the score. Big up, El Dante. Good to see you. It's why I said I wasn't getting giddy as that defence of Sanchez. Honestly, the Chelsea keeper, what is going on with him? He's definitely a little bit shaky. Big up to you, Rinketic. Good to see you. God, we've got lots of people in today. I love it when Spurs win because look, we get an influx of wonderful people. Big up James Loves Spurs, saying big up all, smash the likes. Yeah, like and sub everyone. If not, Bobby K will find you and tickle you to death. Yeah, Matt, the whole world's against you. It's all part of the plan for football to screw over Arsenal. Yeah, dry your eyes, mate. Smash the likes. Yeah, new coffee t-shirts available for all those that want to say see you later, Rat, because you know what, Saliba, see you later, Rat. And you know who else? Kudos, see you later, Rat. They're all going everywhere. Nick has started a trend. He's now the Pied Piper of rats. And yeah, see you later, Rat. Especially you, Saliba, best defender in the world. See you later, Rat. I'll always turn up, win, lose, or draw, says Matt. And big up to Bobby K with a super chat saying, where to West Ham get battered, asking for a friend. They get battered everywhere they go, don't you know? West Ham get battered everywhere they go. Lovely, jubbly. Tom81 says, the missus is still stuck in Barcelona. I've had 2 weeks to myself. Is that good or bad? Let us know. Radu got sent off for similar in Europe. Exactly. Correct, Joey. Consistency. Yes, be afraid, very afraid. My tickling skills are next level. And David Shear, the legend, is in the house saying, evening, Jim, Kate, AJ and Chang and chat. Come on, you effing Spurs. So I think there's only one place to start. First game of the weekend, arguably the most important game of the weekend. The best performance of the weekend, I might even go to add. Jimbo, give us your thoughts on Tottenham West Ham.
Well, it was. I mean, it didn't surprise me, Kate. I said 4-0, right? And I'm a bit of a donut because I've got loads of scores right this season. Apart from them, the other team getting a goal, I don't learn, do I? I would I would have so many more points if I'd just give the other team a goal. But look, it was coming. I said to you before that we haven't played bad all season. We capitulated against Brighton second half. We have to put that aside now, right? That's done and dusted. The Coventry game was a mismatch of players that hadn't played on the pitch together. We've played well all season. The performances have been there, but it's just the players. It's a new set up front with Solanke in there. They had to get to grips with it, and you know, I knew it was coming. I just knew it was coming, a big score, and 4-0. I thought we played excellent. I mean, there isn't no one on that pitch, right? I wouldn't give praise to. You know, they were just all fantastic. Johnson was brilliant, even though he didn't score. He was absolutely brilliant. Sonny come back with a bang. Solanke did what Solanke does. Hold the ball up well, takes players out of the game. You know, they just were brilliant, all of them. Sarr come on and changed the game. I didn't give him man of the match. I give my man of the match to Kulu because I thought he was absolutely immense. He just reminded me of De Bruyne, the way he played.
Oh, high praise indeed.
He was absolutely phenomenal. And Sarr, I mean, that's what I've been waiting for Sarr, or we've been waiting for as Spurs fans for Sarr all season. You know, and he come on. It seems to be a trend in this club. When they come on as subs, they do really well. He come on as the sub. I mean, massive praise to Ange making the sub when he did. Right, huge praise to Ange. I just thought they were absolutely brilliant. Van der Ven knocking Antonio around. You know, not many people do that. It was brilliant. Just loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Big up Vindaloo and everyone coming in, and also massive big up to Tom81, who's been a member for 6 months. I mean,
and a big up to all the Arsenal fans that have come in because they lost and they're still coming in the chat. So big up.
Well, it doesn't happen that often. They should let us get a little bit of joy every now and again.
Coming, Kate, so you have to give them praise for that.
Big up losers. Oh, I mean gooners. Sorry, slip of the tongue. I've got to just give a little bit of big dick energy to Udogie, who I thought started the game extremely shaky and then pulled his socks up and had an absolute phenomenal second half of the game. I have to get that in. Chang, what did you make of the match?
Apart from it being the highest scoring match and also the most entertaining of the bunch, I think it's good to see Big Ange finally making that very, very important halftime substitution because that substitution completely changed the complexion of that second half. And I think everything that needs to be said about Kulusevski has already been said by Mr. Boxall. I mean, if you had to choose between either him or Madison to play as a number 10 and be our creative outlet for the likes of Johnson, Son, and Solanke to score freely from, I mean, he has just been going from strength to strength. And credit as well. I think special shout out to Richarlison getting back on the pitch, and that Kudus red card. I mean, even before he shoved Van der Ven and Pape Matasar in the face, he was already lashing out and kicking out well after the ball had gone. And if that wasn't enough to penalize him for the red, then I honestly do not know what the officials were doing, or for the matter of fact, why they even had to deliberate and take so long to come to the conclusion that it was a red, even before anyone had laid a hand on anyone else. So that is something that will be looked into, the consistency of the refereeing. And it's good, but much like the away win against United Old Trafford, that's long gone. That is past. That was on Saturday. All focus, all eyes, and all attention now turn to AZ Alkmaar on midweek. And I think that is a good opportunity for the likes of Lucas Bergvall to pick up from where he left off when he had to make way for Dragushin, who got a red card.
Yeah, I completely agree. Consistency is key, but let us revel in the beauty of that absolute battering, I'll say it again, of West Ham at the weekend. AJ, what did you make of the match?
First things first. Has anyone seen Angus?
No, I'm 65% sure he's crying though.
Fair play and absolute respect to the other Gooners that are in the chat. I mean, to come on knowing they're going to get it, knowing they're going to get ripped to shreds, absolute respect to them. Second place I'd like to go is I'd like to issue an apology to Son. I still stand by what I said. I don't think he's captain material. I think when the chips are down, you need somebody that's going to pull you out. I don't think he's the man. But I've been kind of unfair on him because I've been judging him on his previous seasons. And we all know he's getting older now. We all know he's lost a turn of pace. But he's still affecting games. He's still having a positive impact. In 6 games in the Premier League, he's had 5 goal contributions, 3 goals, 2 assists. That's 1 every 57, 58 minutes. That's incredible for a player that a lot of people were saying is past it. Let's hope he can continue. Let's hope he's adapted and he can continue that for the rest of the season. I would like to just say to him, maybe I've judged him too quickly, unfairly, and let's hope that he can keep going and keep putting up the numbers, because if he's firing and the rest of the players on the team are firing, that can only take us into very, very good places, right? But as a performance, I think it was brilliant. It was very even in the first half. I think they set up really well to stifle us and stop us playing so freely. And then Ange, the man who's out of his depth, who doesn't understand, who's stubborn, who won't change, can't change, made a very, 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 very brave call to take off Maddison and bring on Sarr at half time. You saw it. The half-time whistle went. He looked at Sarr, get ready, you're coming on. He made his decision there and then. And that changed the whole game. Sarr was immense. That performance by Sarr was his best performance in a Spurs shirt, bar none. He was incredible. The only player on the pitch that was better than him was Kulusevski, who was yet again the man who knitted everything together. He's strong. He's got great feet. He can ping a ball. His running is relentless. It's tireless. And I actually saw, I think I put it in one of the groups, somebody state they don't get Kulusevski. They don't care what the stats say or what the facts say. They're not interested in any of that. They don't get him. They don't understand him. They don't see what he offers. They don't like him. He's not for them. Go away. Go away. Football isn't for you. Football is not for you. You've shown that. If you can't be happy with a brilliant display when your team absolutely spit roast the little bubble blowing, caravan pulling, pie mash jelly deals falls down the end of the rock, like it's just if you can't get on board and you can't enjoy that win, that absolute battering, go away. Just it's done. Football isn't for you. But what a great weekend. Great performances all round. And yes, Udogi was, I think, very, very, very shaky. And he has to be accountable first and foremost for that goal we conceded. He did nothing to stop Bowen. Mickey could have got across. Mickey could have got across and helped him out. He didn't. And the ball come across the box. I think Souček was already occupying Romero or Porro, I can't remember. And Brendan Johnson didn't quite get to Kudus. So, I mean, 1, 2, 3 separate times we failed on the attempt to stop that goal. But that was it. That was what they had. That was their sniff. That was their attempt. And after that, a great call by Andrew. We put the game out of reach. We put it to bed. So absolutely well done.
Yeah. I mean, even Pep did say it. Kulusevski, what a player. I mean, anyone that can't see how good this guy is at the minute, I just don't know. But anyway, moving on to the next section, Joey Barton. Hang on, where are we? Well, Daniel put it as well. The tactical sub at halftime hopefully shows Ange isn't stubborn to realise that he got it wrong against Brighton. And Joey, I'm sure it was Joey, maybe it wasn't Joey. No, Tom81 as well said, credit where credit's due. These are the kind of changes we've been crying out for in recent weeks. Big plus for Ange this weekend. Long may it continue. I mean, Jimbo, let's be fair and honest. When he picked Sarr to come on for Madders, it was a bit of a scratch ahead time. It was like, hang on, he's taking off creativity for someone that, he's got legs, but I couldn't fathom what the change was. But wow, it literally changed the whole game. Do you think Ange is learning?
Well, I think that I've said this many times, even when I was a bit down on Ange for standing there with his hands in his pocket. But to be fair to him, he gives some people some high fives when we score, but he still stood there with his hands in his pocket. So maybe that's just the way he is. But look, okay, I said to you that who are we to question Ange? He's been in football, he's been in management 26, 28 years, and he was a footballer before that. I'm sure he knows a lot more than all us not put together. When I saw the sub, I didn't really think. Finally, Jim's.
Yeah, exactly. He did. He saw an issue and reacted immediately.
Yeah. I think to myself that I've said it many times. He's not an idiot, Kate. The guy's not. He's not got where he's got by being an idiot, and he knows football, right? He's won everywhere he's been. I know it's not the Premiership, right? But he's still won. He's had to beat teams that are on the same level as his teams, or better. So when he made the sub, I just thought there's a reason for it, so just go with it. But what a sub that was. I mean, and he had it in his head. As soon as the whistle went, he told Sarr to get ready, you're coming on. So he had it in his head, what he needed to do. So, yeah, he is learning. He will learn, Kate. It's like if you go into a new job, you're going to make some mistakes, right? And you learn by your mistakes. He's come to the Premiership, which is levels above anywhere that he's ever managed. So I said it to you before on this stream that he has to learn the Premiership, and maybe he's starting to learn it now. It's not the first time he's made good subs. He's made good subs before, but he has left his subs too late for me on a lot of games. But this time he didn't, and what a difference Sarr made. I mean, that through ball to Sonny, that was like threaded through like a cotton in a needle.
It was a Beckham-like ball. It was pinpoint accuracy.
It was an absolute perfect pass. So we know Sarr can play. I mean, I still think he needs to beef up a bit, but it was just a great sub, and we can't knock Ange this week. We knocked him last week, including me, right? But this week we can give him nothing but praise.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Chang, do you think, obviously, I've been guilty of questioning Ange, whether he can do in-game management, whether he's naive, whether he's this, whether he's that. Do you think he's learning? Do you think he already I don't know. What do you think is happening with Ange?
I think that this is part of the evolution and also his learning curve that he's finding out for himself. You could say the hard way, because he's given Madison enough time to try and change things around. And when he saw that Kulusevski was more than adequate and sufficient to play the number 10, he had absolutely no reservations of dropping Madison in favor for someone like Pepe Matassar, who can work so very well with Bissouma, even better so than compared to say Bentancur. And having Bissouma and Pepe Matassar there was a masterstroke. I hope to see more of that as well come this midweek and even the coming weekend against Palace. But for Big Ange, I mean, even the post-match conference, even the interviews after the match, he admitted as much that things should have been a lot better with regards to our game management. The last time out, we played league football against Brighton and Hove Albion. And I really do hope to see more of this. Again, though, much like our players, I expect him to be consistent now with this sort of game management and substitutions. It's fine and well. It's all fine and well, making this one sub that changed the game for one London derby, but let's see throughout the rest of the season, not just for not just for a single London derby and not just for a weekend, but the entire season. Preferably his entire Spurs career if he lasts that long. But yes, he's on the up and up, and I really hope that this is just a start of better things to come from him.
Yeah, and AJ, I mean, me and you have spoke about Ange plenty of times. Steve D and I have spoke about Ange plenty of times, and we've scratched our head and we've doubted him a little bit. But do you think he's starting to adapt to the Premier League?
Well, we've seen it, haven't we, in certain games, and it does seem to take him a while. I mean, it certainly didn't in the game against West Ham, did it? Half time, bang, you're on, so I'll get going. But I mean, it took until the second to last game of last season for him to start trying to tweak the formation slightly. And although it was good to see, it was like, well, there's no point in shutting the doors after the horse is already bolted, you know? But I think what we all have to remember is he's an experienced manager. He's managed on different continents. He's been in the game for many, many years. And if Premier League management was easy, we'd all be doing it. If Premier League management was so easy, and you know, we'd all be employed, yeah. We'd all be working for a Premier League football club, or we'd be working in football to some, but we're not. We're not. You have to be a certain level to get to where he is. And it's all well and good looking back and going, I don't think he made the right call. Could have tweaked this. Could have. Yeah, we've got hindsight on our. You know, we can look back and go, in that moment, making the big calls that you know will affect a game positively or negatively. Do I move now? Do I put this player on? Is it too soon? You know, what can happen? It's a lot. It's a lot. And it's not just you that has to bear the brunt. You've got all the players you're accountable for. You've got 60-odd thousand fans in the stadium screaming, baying for your blood if you get it wrong, praising you and singing your name if you get it right. It's a lot. So we should just let the manager manage. And as fans, then we can go, oh, well, I would have done it better. I would have done this. I would have done that. That's what we get to do as fans. Let the manager manage, and as fans, we can applaud or criticize where needed, where we feel it's warranted, valid. But let's let the manager do his job. We can see game on game, he's tweaking, he's adapting, he's doing things. There's movement. There is movement from last season where he was rigid. And like I said, it took the second to last game before he tweaks anything. What was that, say?
We was laughing at Vindaloo saying, I was hoping Tottenham would win. I just didn't want Bimbo's headbutt and knock himself out again.
Yeah, I just read it, and that's what absolutely tickled me. But yeah, I think we all need to understand and remember that these people that are Premier League managers are in that position for a reason. They're not just content creators or people that like to go on social media, or people like me that just sit on his sofa and talk about. They're managers. They're elite level managers. They're employed. They've beat out God knows how many other people for that position. So they must have some idea of what they are doing. Yeah, they've got to where they are for a reason. Let's have faith in them. If it all goes to pot, when it's all done and dusted, we can then go, oh, he was the wrong appointment. If he wins a trophy for us, he was the right appointment. But let's wait to decide based on the evidence provided. Yeah, let's not go a season in. Oh, he isn't the right guy. Oh, he's definitely the right guy. Let's wait and see what happens. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, Bobby just posed a good question. He said, Kate, is Ange adapting to the league, or are the players finally understanding their assignments? I think there's a bit of both. I think the players have got to be switched on all the time. And I do appreciate the fact that the West Ham team aren't the best team in the world. But even so, you know.
Yeah, but they won the transfer window.
And they've got some fantastic players, let's be fair. They have got some really good players. I'd take kudos in a heartbeat. I think Bowen on his day is a fantastic player. So I think it's a bit of both. I think Ange is adapting as well, because I think he's realised that where he said that he doesn't really pay much attention to substitutes and doesn't get the significance, he proved this weekend that a substitute can change a whole game. So I think that's a really good question. I think it's a bit of both, but it's a good question for sure.
So you
must have thought we deserved it.
What was that, AJ? Sorry.
I said to make that change and affect the game this week, he must have thought we deserved the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head there, Kate, because he made the sub and it changed the whole game, and it did change the whole game, that sub. That's what I say to you about when they stick them in front of the camera after a loss. I mean, maybe they say things they wouldn't have said if they'd have sat back and thought about it. But I think that it is a good question by Bobby, and I think it's a bit of both. I think that Ange is getting to grips with it, and I think the players are getting to grips with it as well. They're fit as a dog's butcher, aren't they? I mean, West Ham
dog.
Butcher's dog. Butcher's dog. West Ham were knackered at half time.
You do make me laugh.
They were knackered at half time, but you could see in the second half their legs were going, but Spurs just kept going and going and going. So their fitness levels are unbelievable.
Yeah. That's all about. As well, Ben, another good point. Kulusevski, showing why he should be vice-captain. He grabbed that game by the scruff of the neck. I mean, Chang, do you think this guy... I mean, I think he could be a future captain for sure. I think he's such a different player in the middle. What's your thoughts on Kula and how far he's come?
At the rate that he's going, I don't see why he shouldn't be vice captain ahead of Maddison, because he's the one who's dictating play even more so than Maddison now. Of course, granted, he still has lots to learn in terms of the leadership in the Premiership. But I read somewhere during the last mini international break that he already is Swedish national skipper at a young tender age that he is at right now. So if that isn't captain material, much like when Son was when he came of age, I think it's only a matter of time, really. If not here, then maybe some other club that he goes to in the future. But I really do hope he is staying for the long haul at Spurs. And I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't even be surprised, assuming that either one of Romero or Maddison takes up the mantle of a club captain when Son Heung-min steps down. Then I think it only makes sense that Kulusevski be promoted to the new vice captain when either of those existing vice captains I mentioned earlier is promoted to club captain. But yeah, Kulusevski club captain is not the worst possible idea, and the way he's running the show, I don't see why he shouldn't be getting all the support needed for him to be future club captain for us.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if Son steps down, I bypass both Romero and Maddison and put Kula as captain. I think he's got more leadership qualities than both. I mean, Maddison struggles to play 90 minutes at the minute. I'm not convinced Ange is particularly fond of Maddison. And Romero, I mean, I
Kate,
don't think he had a particularly good game. I don't think he had a bad game, but I just think his head's been turned.
Kate.
What was you going to say, Jimbo?
Let's not look. He got taken off Madders and Sar got put on, right, and it changed the game. But let's not get too down on Madison. He's influenced a lot of games for us since he's come here, and
Yeah, but don't you find it funny? He never ever sees out a full 90 minutes.
well, maybe because it's the midfield, mainly the players get changed in the midfield more than any other position, Kate. Sometimes the strikers, but if you've got a top striker on, very rarely he comes off. Maybe the wingers might get changed. It's very rarely defenders get changed, right? He's normally the midfield, and they're the ones that work the hardest. So it's not surprising that midfielders come off. But let's not go down the route of giving Madders loads of stick, because he's been good for us a lot of games. He's had some bad games, but they've all had bad games. But he's influenced a lot of games for us and won us games. So I don't want to go down the route of giving him loads of stick. He's a good player, Kate. Very good player.
He is a good player, but if I would be absolutely open to selling him in the summer. I think if you're honest and you look at him since he signed, he's been a flop for Tottenham.
No, he hasn't been a flop. He hasn't, Kate.
Well, I think he has.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think he's a good player, and he's still got a place in this squad, definitely. Maybe not 90 minutes every game, but he played well the first half. It just wasn't working.
Played okay. He didn't play well. He played okay.
Well, he got an assist, right?
Did he get an assist?
Yeah, I think he got an assist. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
But
I don't think he's been
For Kuru's goal, yes, he did. He got an assist for Kuru's goal.
I don't think Maddison's been a flop. But I don't think he's had anywhere near the impact that we were hoping he would have. And at this moment, if you were I think they work. That combination of Madders and Kulu, I think it works. Not in every game. There will be games where it has to be tweaked, which is what Ange did. But there'll be games in which it absolutely works because they both offer something completely different in an attacking sense. But in my honest opinion, realistically, if you are going to go with one attacking midfielder, the first person, Maddison doesn't even get an acknowledgement. It's Kulu all day. If you're going to play one of them, it's Kulu all day, every day.
Yeah. What was you going to say, Jim?
Yeah, he is a good player and he can change games. So, I mean, we can't just disregard him, you know. Look,
I just think he's a flop.
Mate, he's not a flop, Kate. He's not. I won't have that.
Well, no, Jim, well. I'm giving you. You can't say he's not a flop because it's my opinion. If it's your opinion, he isn't. That's fine. But you can't say he's definitely not a flop because it's opinion.
That's the thing about this fan base that drives me absolutely mad. A guy's not firing on all cylinders, right? And everybody comes down on him. He's played well in a lot of games for us, and he's changed games for us, right?
And he's been injured a lot.
All right, he's been injured a lot, but there's a few of them that have been injured a lot. But he's a good squad player, Kate. And if we take Madders out of the squad, we lose something for sure.
I think we're past the stage of wanting a squad player. We need a proper midfielder, and I don't think Madders is it. That's me.
He's decent. But
it's only his second season with us as well. You've got to remember that.
Yeah, but I'd rather have Bergvall on than Madders. That's me. It's all opinions, though. I'm only telling you what I think. I don't want to go down a negative road because it was a positive weekend, but I'm just saying Madders can't play 90 minutes.
Yeah, that last comment was brilliant. Was a good comment.
What? Madders is a very important player in the squad, not all games suit individual players.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with
that. Queen of the flip-flops calling someone a flop. We Are Spurs TV says Madders isn't that player to help us win games against tough low block teams when we go behind. Adrian Cheer, big up, thanks for the super chat, says if Madders a flop, then how to explain Timo? Oh, Timo's just a bloody disaster class. I haven't got words to explain Timo.
Don't be going in on poor Timo. He has done nothing wrong. I mean, actually, let me go back. Don't be going in on Timo. He has done nothing.
Eze or Madison, Jimbo? Who you having?
Eze.
Chang, who would you have?
No brainer. Definitely Eze all day long.
Yeah.
AJ?
I think Eze, he's got a little bit more. I mean, I don't think he's done much this season so far, but when you compare the two, I don't think he's injured as much as Madison, and he's got a lot more physicality. Madison is I didn't realise how slight he was. He's tiny. And no wonder he can't complete 90 minutes if he's getting kicked and barged, and it's a lot to take physically, and he's not as robust as Kulu, is he? So on that basis, yeah, I would take Eze.
Well, there we go. That to me proves my point. If
Yeah,
you'll
but
take
hang on a minute with that little
he's
smug,
not good enough for Spurs.
that little smug look on your face. Because we take Eze, over Madders doesn't mean Madders is a flop.
It means Madders isn't good enough.
But Bobby K's 100% right. He hasn't been the same player since his injury. But we are only 8 games in. We're 8 games in. Like,
yeah, but he wasn't the same player at the end of last season when he came back from injury.
Right. Well, we're 8 games in, and he's contributed. Right. He was decent in the first half. He wasn't like terrible.
Look,
you know?
I hope I get proved wrong and get muddied. People
are too quick to slaughter players.
Yeah, but Jimbo, you say that. You live with me. You've lived with me for donkey's years. Have I ever liked James Maddison?
No, not really.
Exactly. And I stand by it. I just don't think he's good enough. Kate equals flip-flop Flanny. Please don't tell people.
There was games last season. There was games last season. He was unplayable.
The first 10 games.
So we know he can play the game.
But yeah, exactly that. Timo Werner, we didn't pay 45 million for. He's alone. Madders gets injured because he gets hacked down a lot. Look, I would love it if he proves me wrong. I just can't see it. But yeah, I think Madders is having a better season than Eze, because I think Eze is distraught that he didn't get the move that he wanted. But moving on to the red card, Chang, Kudos's red card, which should be red cards, because he just went psycho Steve for like a minute. What's your thoughts on it?
I think I already said everything I need to say about the red card. It was just not even one red card. It was multiple red cards. And why the officials and VAR and the referee took an eternity to even upgrade his yellow into a red, I have no idea. And this is why the consistency in the refereeing and also the the officiating has to be improved. And it's not just this game as well. It's even the Saliba red card. It took an eternity for the referees and the VAR to flash the red for him. But for Kudos, I think this is why I have one thing to say about that red card. I think he did it to himself. He did it to himself. If you look at the celebration, his goal celebration, the one where he was just sitting on a stool and acting all smarmy and very stuck up, that is why you don't celebrate too early. That is why you don't try to rub it into the home crowd, because when things go wrong and they do very fast and suddenly you have the entire house baying for blood the moment things aren't going well for you. And I think it got to his head. It definitely got to his head the moment he lashed out at Mickey Van der Ven, who was on the ground. And once the pushing and shoving started, it was just a ticking time bomb that went off spectacularly, left, right, and center, and he got what he deserved.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Can I just say something?
Well, I suppose so.
Well, I am co-host, so there was a time that a lot of fans wanted to get rid of Kulu, said he wasn't up to it, right? And look at him now.
Yeah, but I think you can argue that the point was he wasn't being played in the correct position, Kulu. Maddis is playing in his preferred position.
All right, but
so that dispels that little piece of that little nugget of information you just come out with, Jimbo.
It doesn't dispel it for me. He's still got a place in his squad.
Okay, sweetheart. AJ, Kudos's red card. Do you think he'll get 3 games? Do you think they might go back and give him more, because he slapped 2 people in the face and tried to kick Van der Ven while he was on the ground?
Well, he did kick him, didn't he? When he went down, he kicked him. he kicked him. He had one proper kick and another little niggle. When Van der Ven got up and took exception to that, and Van der Ven shouldn't have put his hands on Kudus, but Kudus has then gone for his face and hit him in the face. And while it wasn't enough to put him down, the fact is he still lashed out and hit him in the face. He is then Sar's gone over, put his hands on Kudus, which also isn't acceptable. But you've just seen your teammate get slapped in the face. He's gone over. He's pushed Kudus. Kudus has knocked into Richarlison. Richarlison's gone down. That one you can't really blame Kudus for. But then when it seems to calm down slightly, a couple of seconds later, Kudus is with the palm of his hand, which is as good as a punch, hit Star in the face, flush in the face. And Star just stood there and looked at him. Fair play to Star for not going down. But that's a definite red card. Absolutely. And anybody that can even try to argue it, maybe they don't understand the rules of the game. Like, it was a definite red card, and I wouldn't be surprised if when they look at that, they extend it, because there were at least 3 counts of what would be considered violent conduct: the kick, the hit in the face to Van der Ven, and then the hit in the face to Sarr. So absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Jimbo, I don't. Do I need to ask you if you thought it was a red card? What you thought of it?
No, it was 3 red cards. I mean, it was ridiculous what he'd done. It shouldn't have gone any further. As soon as he kicked Van der Ven in the back, that's a red card. I mean, he didn't try and kick the ball. The ball was past him, went behind him, and he just kicked him in the back. I mean, he just lost it, didn't he? I mean, and it was frustration because he's the best player. Loves Matters. He's the best player in the West Ham team by a country mile, and he got frustrated. And can you concentrate, darling, please? And he lost his head, so it was 100% red. There's going to be a divorce, I tell you.
I was just telling my son about the birthday card he's got to post. Is that all right?
All right.
You never pay attention. You're always on your phone and watching the telly. Look, don't make me go back to just a girl who loves Spurs. Don't make me do it, Jimbo. I'm on the edge. Don't do it. Look, while we're talking about red cards, see you later, Rat. We've got to go on to this game and say, see you later, Rat. Best defender in the world, my arse. Oh, Saliba, but he's so good. He's so much better than Romero. He never gets sent off. Hello. Jim, how on earth did the ref not just give this as an instant red? Why did it have to go to VAR when everyone in the world could see it was a straight red?
I don't know, Kate. I don't know. Honestly, it was a red, and it was just there was no reason for it to go VAR. White, was it? Ben White was on the left, and he was a million miles away from play. The goalkeeper backed up, so he wasn't coming forward. He went to come and then backed up, so there was no reason for it to go to VAR. But look, at the end of the day, I suppose it's better some decisions go to VAR to double check, because you don't want players sent off if they shouldn't be sent off. But I suppose they would check and see if Ben White could get there. But look, at the end of the day, he got sent off, got his straight red. So now I really, really think this is going to lose Arsenal any chance of winning the title this next 3 games without Saliba, because he saves their backside so many times, because he is a fantastic defender. It's all right taking the piss out of him because he got sent off, but he's a good defender. He's a good player. He's one of the best in the league in his position. So he's going to be a massive, massive loss. I remember when they lost him last time, that they capitulated, didn't they? They just wasn't the same team. So I think this could lose them any chance of winning the title, losing Saliba for 3 games. I believe one of them games is Liverpool.
He's only missing 1 game, apparently.
No, he got straight red.
Well, why is he only missing 1 then, Anthony? Explain, because I thought it was 3.
Yeah, it was a straight red. They took the yellow back and give him a straight red, so that's 3 cards, isn't it?
I don't know. Matt's saying he's only suspended for 1.
No, straight red's 3 games.
No, it's not. It's 1.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Used
right.
to be a straight red was 3. I don't know. No,
I didn't know that had changed.
Denying
It's
a
3
goal.
games.
Oh, denying a goal or an obvious goal scoring opportunity means a 1-game suspension in the Premier League's like a second yellow. That's ridiculous because it weren't a second yellow; it was a straight red, so it should be 3 games. It's disgraceful. But look, all I've got to say is AFC Matt, I know you're here, but this is what I call a little word called karma, because I kind of remember on Twitter you celebrating that City had Rodri out, and now Saliba's out, even if it's only for a game. Every 3 points counts. Mr. Chain, straight red for you for Saliba?
For sure. I mean, we saw Dragoshin get sent off even higher up the pitch compared to Saliba. So I think it was only logical that Saliba got a red as well. But I think my big pet peeve here was why it took so long for the red to be, for the yellow to be upgraded to a red. And what was really funny when it happened in real time, if you actually watch the game, the television, the broadcast went from on screen to Howard Webb doing something like this. It was just comical to see it, and I knew immediately I saw Howard Webb on the screen. I knew that if this becomes a red, the Gunners are going to be crying about it. It's like, here we go again. Bias officiating, very cherry picking sort of leniency towards the bigger clubs or towards the favorites, and that just made my day, honestly. And that red card was always a red, but I'm just only reading this now from the Independents on the number of games that Saliba is being sent off. Suspended, and I don't see why again now as we go through all these revisions, why are the rules being changed ever so often when it comes to this sort of rulings when it comes to dismissals and suspensions. But I mean, if it happens for Saliba, I guess it works the same for any other player. And that comment there by AFC Matt, I would understand why. Yeah, this one. Yep, exactly. If it was Romero or Van der Ven, it's a red for them as well. And I really am hoping that we do not lose Van der Ven for the rest of the season, because I think we are going to be seeing similar situations with our centre backs if Van der Ven is out for a long term.
Yeah.
I wonder when that rule changed. I never knew that.
I didn't know it had changed either. I thought a straight red was automatic 3-game suspension. Yeah, Phil says red for serious foul play or violent conduct is 3-game ban. Most other reds are only 1 game. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. I think that's a disgrace. AJ, he's back. AJ, Saliba, red card for you.
First of all, I'd like to just, Mark, I saw he asked me a question, and it was about something I said a while back. I will go into it if you want me to, but the answer to your question is yes, I would take Timo still. I would take him over Neto. If you need me to elaborate further, I will do that for you, but that's my answer. Still, yes, Timo over Neto. The red card, absolutely. Saliba is a quality defender. But first of all, I would ask why Arsenal, a team that are title contenders, are playing on the halfway line. Why were their defenders playing suicide football on the halfway line? Surely it's only managers that don't know what they're doing that have their team pressed that high. Is that not correct? That's what we've been told time and time again. But the whole of their back line were on the halfway line. I don't understand that. I thought they were title contenders. I thought Arteta was an excellent manager. Anyway, let's get onto the red card. The red card was a definite red card. Saliba could have let him go. Saliba's quick. He could have, even if he'd got the run on Saliba, you've got Saliba, if he lets him go, Saliba's got a chance to get back and put pressure on him and affect the player getting the shot off. You've got Raya in goal, who's still got a chance to save an attempt on goal. Even if a goal is conceded, you're 1-0 down. You're Arsenal. You've got a good team. You can press. You can push. You can take Bournemouth to the cleaners. Yeah, you can still win that game. By doing what he did, he put his team in a position that was so much harder than coming back from one goal. We've seen it time and time again. Time and time again, we've seen goals score the first goal. The team score the first goal, and they don't always win the match. That happens week in, week out. Very rarely do you go down to 10 men and have to play for a whole half and come out victorious. So he made a monumental cock up. So it's all on him. Trossard made the back pass, which was terrible, but people are going in on Trossard and giving Saliba an out, letting Saliba off. Saliba was the man that made the decision to take down the attacker that got the red card that sent you down to 10 men, which cost you the game. Yes, it wasn't helped by Trossard, but it's Saliba's fault. So absolute red card. Shame it's only one game. Should be 7, should be 20. Well done.
I love it. I love it. There was a question. Where are we? I've started so many things. I love this from Thomasin. Says, big up, guys. You were fantastic against West Ham. West Ham were arse. Should have been 6-1. As for my team, we were pathetic against Bournemouth. We deserved to lose. Bournemouth deserved to win. Arteta out. I love it. I hope the Arteta hokey cokey comes back. I love that.
Well, look, at the end of the day, Kate, at the end of the day, he's took them forward, Arteta, right? But they're not going. I can't see him winning anything under him. I can't.
Yeah,
honestly,
has he took them as far as he can?
I think he has took them as far as he can. I do. I think that they need someone with that little bit more. You know, I do. I think he's took them where they can go, and I can't see him winning the league. I can't. Not this season. At the beginning of the season, I thought they'd really kick on from last season, but they haven't, have they?
No, Matt, to be fair, that was an Arsenal fan saying that, not a rival. Matt says as well, what we Arsenal fans aren't happy about is the protocol of the way the situation was handled, i.e. why was Howard Webb talking to his officials? And then Joey says he wasn't. I don't think he was. I think Arsenal, this is them crying that there's a whole conspiracy about why Arsenal don't win the league. Maybe it's just that they're not quite good enough. I don't think there's a conspiracy. Yeah, go on, AJ.
Nick, you were going to call me. Oh, I'm subbing here, but oh dear. Okay. Anyway, you've lost my train. No, got it back. Right. Since Arteta took over, Arsenal have amassed 18 red cards. That's 5 more than any other team. But what Arsenal fans will have you believe is that it's a conspiracy, it's a vendetta, it's an agenda by the league, by the officials towards Arsenal. Instead of saying, actually, look at our manager and the way he acts like a spoilt little brat on the touchline, screaming, shouting, kicking, stamping, getting out his technical area. Surely that has an effect. If that man and that character is managing your club, that's going to transcend through your team, and it's going to show itself on the pitch. Do you not think? So let's quit bitching. Let's quit bitching and whining about how everyone's out to get us if we're Arsenal fans, and just accept the fact that Arteta is a decent manager that has taken you as far as you can go. And the negative side of him is also showing itself on the pitch, which is why you're accumulating so many red cards.
Yeah. Another Ed, a lot of people are saying Declan Rice is one of the most overrated. To be fair, last season I thought he was excellent. I think he's been poor this season so far. And for England, I don't think he's been great. AJ, we had most of those red cards when he first managed. We had a terrible squad. Players didn't want to be here. He was a new manager. Context. Yeah, but I think it goes to show that there is always been a disciplinary problem at Arsenal. I remember at the end of Wenger's tenure, there was a real talk about the disciplinary problems at Arsenal. I think they think that they're better than everyone and can just behave how they please. But that's just me. What do I know?
When they were losing, Kate, when they were losing, well, you know, because you was here, I put on Arsenal TV, right? And actually the the silence was deafening of the people on the panel. But the people
Yeah.
in the chat, Arsenal supporters, there was more Arteta out than there was Arteta in.
Yeah. He scored 2 goals and provided 2 assists for England in the last few months. That's recent. I'm talking about in the Euros. I thought he was poor. I know everyone was poor, but I do listen. I was saying how wonderful Rice was, but I do think he's been disappointing so far this season, which I think I'm allowed to say, without sounding salty. But I was going to say something else. Yeah, right. The context on this. So why didn't Tosin get a red card? Dermot Gallagher this morning spoke about this, and he said there's a number of things. Jota isn't in possession of the ball. Direction of the ball is going towards the corner flag. The distance from the goal, it's felt Colwell would have had the chance to make up the ground. There's too many variables. Whereas with Saliba, it's a different situation. The ball is going down the middle. White is a long way from Evan Nielsen, who is favourite to get the ball, and Raya has backed off, so it's hard for him to get the ball. So it's a completely different context. That the Saliba sending off, the guy you would fancy he's going to get at least a good shot on goal. Whereas Tosin, it was more the ball was going towards the corner flag. So I hear it, and I'm the first one to call out ref inconsistency, but I think it was completely different, personally. Jess says, smash the likes. Anna's been a member for 4 months. Big up, Jess. Going on to the City game, I don't understand how you can possibly think that goal should have been disallowed at the end. John Stones' goal. I mean, Jimbo, come on. You've got to put Vindaloo in his place here.
Look, Vindaloo. When you look at it, right, he was crowding the keeper, and the keeper gave him a little push to get rid of him, which is normal, right? He was pushing right up against him. But as soon as Stones headed that ball, right, he was nowhere near the keeper, right? The keeper could see it. There was he was like a yard and a half away from him. He could see the ball. He tried to save it. It was just when the header was too quick, and it went through his hands, went in just as he put his hands up. To me, I mean, I said to Kate, I don't even know why that's gone to VAR. I didn't even understand why it went to VAR, because he was nowhere near the keeper. And if they'd have disallowed that goal, it puts football in a different light to me. Honestly, it does. It was a goal, and I don't think anybody can say it wasn't a goal. It was just a goal. He was nowhere near him. Wasn't putting him off. He was away from him and crouched low. I just can't have that anything but a goal.
I don't agree with this. We wouldn't be saying there was no dark arts in what City did at the end. Nothing at all. It was a fantastic goal by John Stones, who's popping up with clutch goals this season. And I literally can't understand why anyone think it isn't a goal. I mean, Chan, did you watch the game?
Can I just say, Kate, what was the first thing I said to you when that ball went in the back of the net?
You said they cannot possibly disallow that. He didn't interfere with the keeper at all.
And I said to you, if that was against us, I'd be sitting here saying to you, that's a goal.
Yeah.
I said that to you. If that was against Tottenham and it would have been a goal, I wouldn't have in any way thought any different. And if they had disallowed it, I would have said that they'd been robbed. It was a good goal. It was a good goal.
Shane, what did you make of it? Like I say, I can't understand why anyone would think that should have been chalked off.
My only initial reaction to seeing that goal was that just maybe Bernardo Silva was the one who was in the way that might have influenced the offside, but otherwise I don't see why it's an offside from a corner if no other City player touches it from an offside position. And Bernardo Silva definitely got out of the way quick enough. And again, VAR and the consistency and why it took so long to even deliberate that it wasn't an offside or a foul leading up to the goal. That is the only thing I have to say about it. The only thing that maybe some of the Arsenal fans are still bitter about, if you remember that 2-2 draw. That 2-2 draw between City and Arsenal was courtesy of a John Stones late equalizer from a set piece as well. Not a set piece, it was from a deflection, I think. And this is another late John Stones goal. So he is struck twice now in as many weeks against Arsenal, both indirectly and directly. So I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that goal. And if John Stones is still doing what he does best against other teams, that is not Spurs, if he's doing things like this to maintain the gap between City and Arsenal, long may it continue.
Yeah,
Hey, at the end of the day, Arsenal fans are just clutching at straws. They are. I'm sorry, Vindaloo, but you're all clutching at straws trying to get that chalked off. That was a good goal, and no one
was a
can
good
take that
goal.
away from them.
I mean, Matt's saying when Arsenal do it, it's cheating, but City do it, it's clever. Look, the difference with the Arsenal is they were all over the keeper interfering with play. I don't think that there was any interfering with the manager, with the keeper. I mean, AJ, did you see anything wrong with the City goal?
When the corner was being taken, Bernardo Silva was in and around the goalkeeper. As Arsenal show week in, week out, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, their players can hold on to the keeper, push the keeper, pull the keeper, grab their gloves. That's acceptable. But because Bernardo Silva was by Raya, because Bernardo Silva was by the goalkeeper, that was unacceptable. That wasn't allowed. By the time John Stones makes contact with that ball, the keeper has got clear line of sight. There's nobody touching him. There's nobody obstructing him. But week in, week out, we see Arsenal players standing on, maybe two at a time, standing on the keeper, stopping the goalkeeper from actually physically moving. But that's okay because that's Arsenal. It's the Arsenal way. It's great. But when another team score a goal from a set piece, we want to start bitching and belly aching about it. Oh, he was in his way. But first of all, the goalkeeper's staring straight over Bernardo Silva's head. He's like 5'3". Like, it doesn't matter if he's in the way. The keeper's looking straight over him anyway. But I would just like to also state that I think Arsenal have conceded from at least 2 set pieces this season, and Spurs have still only conceded from 1. And apparently we're the team that can't defend, and they're defending maestros. So, I mean, what's going on here?
Not only that, but we're only 1 goal away from their defensive record so far this season as well. So
yeah,
I think
we scored 3 more. We scored 3 more than them, and apparently we don't play attacking football. If you listen to other people, we don't play attacking, and we conceded 1 more than them.
I think we've actually scored more goals in the Premier League than any other team this season so far. I think.
I think Man City have 1 more. I think we've got 18. Man City have 19, but we've got more than anybody else.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Please, everyone, if you're in South London, be careful. There's a flood warning from all the Gooner-teers. Oh, but we're treated differently. Oh, I can't cope with it.
Yeah, you got to remember last season, right? What's his name? Vicario was getting mobbed by the other teams because he made that mistake when there was like 3 around him. They started surrounding him, and they were giving goals left, right, and centre against Vicario, right? And we just had to accept it. So for one player to be a yard and a half away and bending down, I mean, just accept it, Arsenal fans. It was a goal.
Has anyone got some violins for Matt, please? Because statistically, they've had the 10 hardest fixtures.
If you think you've had the first 10 hardest fixtures, whatever, and you think your start to the season's been difficult, take a look at who Wolves have played to start the season.
Yeah, exactly. Matt, you get people sent off because you play on the edge. Massive discipline problem. I think there always has been. Certainly in the last 10 years, there's been a massive one. But Matt's saying, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how we are treated differently to City. Come on, get the chip off your shoulder. You're not treated differently. Arsenal impeded the keeper and cheated doing it. There was no cheating from City there at all. I can't believe anyone would compare it. It's bonkers, but there we go. Thames Barrier at Woolwich been going off all weekend. Ellie said, what did Arsenal do against us? They pushed Romero just enough, and their goal by Gabriel. And last season, Ben White impeded Vicario much more when Havertz scored. Exactly that. Phil P says, on Woolwich Radio today, the streets, dry your eyes, mate. If players don't move towards the ball when they're standing on keeper at corners, and the goal should be disallowed. Ben says, if you tone down the dark arts and try and play the football game, you'll get less men sent off. Yeah, and try and not park the bus sometimes. Be a little bit brave.
Do you know what? This is what frustrates me about Arsenal, because they're a good team. It's not like they're a bad team. They're a good team, right? They're one of the best teams in the Premier League. But some of the football they play, it's mind-boggling. You know, if they played their football, they would win. They wouldn't have lost that game, that's for sure. But I can't understand them, and it's got to be to do with the manager. Someone just put one of the Arsenal, I think it was Vindaloo, said that they're not good enough if they had a top class manager. I'm telling you now, put Pep in as your manager, and you're winning stuff without any shadow of a doubt.
Joey, exactly what I said. Wenger with the same red card issue. There's been a discipline problem at Arsenal for a long time. Armin, big up, good to see you. Says now we must go and beat City and Villa. No excuses. Agreed. Surprised Arsenal didn't go for it with 10 men versus Bournemouth. They don't. They're very cowardly, I think, at times. Big up early doors football. Hope you are well. Is that a West Ham badge? Oh, I think it is. Oh. Good to see you, though. Do you want some tissue or you're all right? Just checking. Vindaloo says, Kate, I'll give you a stat. Since VAR was introduced, City have not got one decision go against them. Well, that's not true.
No, that's not true, because we got one against them.
They've had them against us.
Yeah.
They had an offside in the Champions League. They've had offsides at our stadium, so that's absolute nonsense. Arteta's far too pragmatic. Big up, Nick. Good to see you. Never would one red card make City back off. That's the difference. I know. And the thing is, when we got those red cards against Chelsea, we was told we was idiotic and stupid. But wow, I'd rather watch that than watch someone trying to park the bus. Obviously, we've still got a game tonight, but the scores at the minute are Nick and Chang both with 8 points this weekend. I got 4, Jim got 3. So Nick and Chang are ruling the roost. And Nick went all 2-1s as well. So there we go. What was that about? The Lorente handball and the Sterling offside in the same game. Exactly that. Other games. What other games did I want to talk about? We've kind of done Liverpool, Chelsea. Although I have got to give a massive shout out to Curtis Jones, who was exceptional yesterday. Jim, that that Chelsea goalkeeper. What is going on?
Do you know what? He was the one who let them down, because I didn't think they played that bad. Look, I'm going to be totally honest, right? And it's not because I'm a Spurs fan, but Liverpool are a much more superior team to Chelsea at the minute. But I can see things. I can see things in Chelsea that are getting better and better every week I watch them. Any time I watch Chelsea, I can see that they're getting better and they're starting to gel a bit more. But at the end of the day, Liverpool are a more established team, and everybody's giving what's his name, their manager Arne Slot, loads and loads of credit. All right, he deserves the credit because he's come in, took them over, but they were a well-established team, Kate. And I think that there's not many managers couldn't have gone in there and got them playing football if they were a decent manager. But I can see things happening at Chelsea. They're looking a lot better, and I thought that they did well against Liverpool, but Liverpool just that one step ahead of them. So, but I can see things happening at Chelsea over this season, next season, season after. I really can. Yeah,
they're definitely looking. They're looking better, but they've got to sort out their defensive problems and that keeper. I mean, Chang, what is it with Chelsea? They can't seem to get themselves a good keeper, in my opinion.
They attempted to do so with Kepa Arrizabalaga, and we know how that turned out. I think they're still trying to do what we tried to do with replacing Harry Kane. They're still trying to replace Peter Cech, however many years. No, not Cech, sorry, Courtois. I stand corrected. They were able to replace Peter Cech with Courtois, but after they sold Courtois to Real Madrid, they have yet to find a replacement for him. And I think the keepers that you look at that they have on their roster over the past couple of seasons since Courtois went to Real Madrid is testament to that. I wouldn't actually put it just down to one goalkeeper because it's a collective, it's a team effort. So if your back line isn't working, then that last line of defense, the goalkeeper, if he's a Courtois, then okay, that all the better for him. But Sanchez, I mean, I think were we linked with Sanchez? I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, though the goalkeeper situation is a strange one if you ask me, and they will actually do well to look into getting maybe someone who is an upgrade over Sanchez. I'm not sure of how many other goalkeepers are there readily available in the open market right now that can give you a Courtois like performance week in week out for Chelsea. So this is something that they have to work out the same way we have to look into, say, working out our left winger if Timo Werner or Odebeer doesn't work out, if Son steps down. But yeah, they have to do something about it, because United thought they did something about it as well when they tried to replace David De Gea with Onana. I would actually say that United have a bigger problem in the goalkeeping department compared to Chelsea. But for Chelsea, that is one of those holes that they have to plug themselves.
Yeah, I mean, for me, AJ, if they can get themselves a good keeper and sort of tighten up their defence, I think they're looking a good team. I don't know what you think.
Haven't they got like 8 goalkeepers to choose from or something stupid? You think they'd find a
Yeah, but aren't
decent
they
one?
about 12?
Yeah, you think they'd find a decent one among them, but no, the game was really good, to be honest. It was end-to-end stuff, and it could have gone either way. The only problem for Chelsea in that match is that their goalkeeper's not very good, and Liverpool have only one of the goals was a Chelsea goal, but Liverpool have now only conceded 3 goals, so they're very well drilled defensively. They've got a decent keeper, a decent backup keeper, very well drilled defensively, and the midfield work really hard to help protect the defence as well. So Liverpool could be a surprise come the final weeks of the season. They could really be in the mix if they can keep that sort of defensive solidarity. They've only got to win a game 1-0, haven't they, or score 2 goals. That if you can stop a team scoring, that's all you need. Not like us, score 5 or score 6. But yeah, it was a good game. It could have gone either way, but it's definitely an area that Chelsea need to address. They need to get a decent keeper.
But the thing is with Chelsea, Kate, they go out and buy one. They won't mess around. They won't stick with this. If this guy keeps playing like this in January, he'll be out and there'll be a new one in. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I was just reading the chat. Also, just going to touch on Manchester United. Look, they got a win, and from what I didn't watch all the game, but from what I've seen, Casemiro had a good game, and Garnacho had a good game, and someone else who I can't think who they are had a good game. How long is Ten Hag going to hang on to this job, Chang? Is he, is he going to last the season, do you think?
For our sakes, I do hope he does. I hope he does hold them back for as long as possible, and that halftime goal that they found themselves behind. I don't know why he would even remonstrate and get himself booked when they went a goal down because they had a player who was out of the pitch or out of the picture when the corner was taken for the opposition to score that early lead just before halftime. But credit to them, credit to United, they were able to bounce back. And for Ten Hag, I think he's one of the contenders for first manager to be sacked this season. And that 2-1 result for them was just papering over the cracks, if you ask me. For them, I think it's a long hill to have to dig themselves out of, or rather a long ascent for them to try to get back to where they were, even during the Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho days. But yeah, for Ten Hag, I hope he lasts as long as possible before they do find a replacement. And yeah, more of the same from them. If they just scrape out victories or narrow draws that keep them in and about the mid-table, that's where we will like them. We will like them to be, so that we can have a chance to try and break back into that top four.
Yeah. I mean, for me, AJ, I think Ten Hag's going to last the season. I've said it all along. I think he will make it to the end of the season. Do you think he'll stay there, or do you think they'd get rid of him before? I mean, Nick's convinced Southgate will be in January.
In where?
I don't, in United, apparently.
Oh,
I don't think Ten Hag's a bad manager. I don't think he's a bad manager. I don't understand. I don't get the problem at United. I don't understand what's going wrong there. I don't think it's helped not having Hoyland available week in, week out, because I think Hoyland is a quality striker. I think if he's available and he's firing, he'll get loads of goals. I really like him. But let's face it, they've got Rashford, who's, I mean, the most notable thing he's achieved is his school dinner campaign. I think that's the most noteworthy thing he's done. Anthony is absolutely, for me, the worst player I've ever seen. And next to Ndombele, the worst player I've ever seen in the Premier League. But he still gets game time. They've got a handful of players that are decent. And the recruitment seems to be way off. And who's the one bringing in the players? Is it Ten Hag? Or is somebody else pulling the strings and making these decisions? Because you just don't know. But it's not a very good team on paper. It's not a very good team. But we all know that sometimes teams perform better on the pitch than they do on paper, and vice versa. But either way, it's just, I don't know. It depends. I mean, he could go on a run, and the next 3, 4, 5 games they could do really well, and all back in, he's our manager, will stay with him. He could suffer 2, 3, 4 defeats, and they'll pull the trigger and get rid of him. But then, who do they get in? It's the same thing when we have the issue with Ange, and people say get rid. Well, then who are you going to bring in? It's all well and good going, let's get rid of the manager, but that gives you a whole new set of problems. Bringing in a new manager, finding one that's going to come in and do the job with the same personnel you currently got, and then come the transfer window, if he's gone before January, how many more players do you bring in, and trying to integrate them into this? So there's so much to try to juggle with the situation. I'm just glad it's not us dealing with it.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. I mean, Jim, do you think Ten Hag lasts the season?
Yeah, can just before we go on 10 can I just go off topic for 1 second? I want to say something to Matt, right? Just for 1 second, Kate. He keeps putting in there, making excuses for Arsenal, right? And putting down Tottenham. This is for you, man, not for you, Vindaloo, because you talk sense. Matt talks a load of crap, right? Arsenal are 4 points above Tottenham, right? 4 points above Tottenham. And if you look at the football that Arsenal have played this season, and you look at the football that Tottenham have played this season, Tottenham have knocked you off the park for their football. And we play proper football. What football's about? Attacking.
We don't part the bus.
Attacking, going forward, trying to score goals, entertaining the crowd. Right? That's what Tottenham do. Arsenal don't. So if you look in the mirror, I said this before once on the show, right? You can't lie to yourself. You can lie to everybody in the chat, but you can't lie to yourself. Tottenham have played much, much better football than Arsenal this season, right? Much better football. And we're 4 points behind you, and you're meant to be this title challenging team, and we're meant to be this mid-table team. Just think about that.
Yeah, but he'd rather win games than play nice and we've won more games than you, and my dad's bigger than yours, and we played harder games than you. Matt, let it go, mate.
There's not an easy game in the Premiership, mate. You can pick the box. Look at Wolves against City, right? There's not an easy game in the Premiership.
Not in the Forest away to Liverpool.
You could pick 10 teams out of it, right? And give us 10 teams, give you 10 teams, and every one of them 10 teams are going to be a hard game. So when you sit back and look at it, right, Tottenham have been a better team than Arsenal as far as I'm concerned, because they've played proper football, not sit back and whinge and moan, right? And then look at other games, and when someone gets a goal, whinge and moan, it shouldn't have been a goal. Just rein it in a bit. Have a bit of a dignity.
Yeah, do what Haaland
The
says.
the two games they've tried to win ugly and park the bus in, they've scored 1 point.
Right, let's
These are
go
the
back to
two
Ten
that
Hag.
parking the bus doesn't work.
Can I just say, I can't remember what was I saying? What did I start saying? I've forgotten. Poor Jim, because it might come back to me.
Yeah, what did you ask me about Ten Hag?
Do you think he makes the end of the season?
No, I don't. I don't think he makes it to Christmas. You want to know the truth, and not unless they start. Not unless they start winning game after game. For me, a few more losses and he's going to be gone. I don't know if it'll be Southgate that gets in, but I think Southgate will do a better job than him anyway. I don't rate him, Kate. I don't, honestly.
Look, Drew Lala was very nice to send me some stats for the season so far. Tottenham and Arsenal, 8 Premier League matches played. Tottenham have scored 18 goals, Arsenal have scored 15. Tottenham have conceded 9, Arsenal have conceded 8, sorry. Spurs have 13 assists, Arsenal have 11. We have an average of 2.3 goals a game, they have an average of 1.9. We have an average of 6.9 shots on target per game, they have an average of 5.9. We're identical on big chances per game and big chances missed per game. We've got 62% on average possession for their 49.3. We've got 473.9 accurate passes per game, and they've got 351. And accurate long balls, 53% to us, 51% to them. Right? So when you actually look at the comparisons, there's loads more. I can't read them all out. We're identical on so many, but we're actually higher on most. We're 7.08 average rating on SofaScore, and they're 7.05. Now, you can say, hang on. You can say, Matt, but we've won more games than you. You're 4 points behind, whatever. The fact is, you're 5 years into a project, and all you do is put Tottenham down and say we're crap, and Angie's this and Angie's that. But look at how we are compared to you.
1 season and 8 games into the project, and you're 5 years in the project. But you don't need them stats. Thank you, Julia, for sending them stats, all right? Because it is important they're there. But your eyes tell you. When I watch Tottenham, right, I'm on the edge of my seat enjoying it. When I watch Arsenal, it's like I put on my iPad and start playing Monopoly or something. You know, honestly. It's important that you enjoy it. That it's football. If you watch a sport, it's an entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Spurs entertain, and Arsenal don't entertain this season. I'm not saying they didn't last season or the season before, but this season they've just gone backwards as far as I'm concerned. But you're 4 points in front of us, but we're 8 games into the season. There's a long way to go yet. And you keep playing like you're playing. We keep playing like we're playing. We will end up above you by the end of the season.
Their football is as entertaining as their chants. Arsenal, Arsenal. Well done. Well done. Who wrote that?
Joey, I play Monopoly online. Just fun.
Yeah, but that was last season. You have scored 91 goals last season. That's in the past. We're talking about now, right this very second. We were only good second half of last season. No one is understanding that. First half, we were awful.
Yeah, but you're 5 years into a project with your manager, right? If that was me and that was my team, I'd start looking, thinking, God, is this guy right for my team? Mm-hmm. You know, is he right after 5 years? And they're still letting us down. You know, Bournemouth, you shouldn't be losing games to Bournemouth. 5 years into a project with the players you've got, losing 2-0 to Bournemouth, someone should be asking questions. You know, you can sit back and defend your club. I understand you want to defend your club and your manager, but I put Ange down last week, and I love Ange, right? I'm a realist. He made mistakes last week, so I put him down and say what I think. But you just defend, and sometimes you can't defend stuff.
Yeah, I will say though, Jim, I think you're stretching it a bit to say we will finish above them.
If we play like we're playing and they play like they're playing, I'm telling you now, I'm 100% convinced we will finish above Arsenal.
Not this year.
Yeah, this year, Kate. If they play like they play and we play like we play, we will finish above.
Can I just say, Jim's just actually said an oxymoron. I'm a realist, but we're finished above Arsenal.
If we keep playing like we're playing and they play like they're playing, we will finish above Arsenal. We're 4 points behind them after 8 games, right? And we're meant to have had this terrible start, and they're meant to be this fantastic team, yet we're 4 points behind them.
You were doing so well up until that point.
No, I stick to that.
Big up Coover and Steve D. Good to see you. Big up Ian Ferguson. I know you've been in a while, but I didn't say hello. Ben says, depends on what entertains you, Jimbo. I don't like our style of football, but was happy with how we played Saturday. Yoris says, Jimbo, to tell him you're like me uncle, that's overprotective. You've gone through 5 managers. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've gone through 5 managers in 10 years. Yeah. But what good has that done you? You've won a couple of FA Cups?
1.
What, in 10 years? Is it only 1?
I don't know what I think that I don't know if it's more than 1, but they ain't won a lot for this team that's meant to be out of this world.
Steve D says, Arso Collapso. I love it. Koff, what do you mean you don't like our style of football? The fullbacks are far less inverted than last season. Yeah, I mean, I think we're beautiful to watch. When it works, that goal with Basuma was such a beautifully worked goal. It was absolute class. Jim needs looking up in the funny farm.
Joey Barton, at the end of the season, we'll see where we are and we'll see where Arsenal are. If they keep playing like they're playing, right, and we play like we're playing, we will end up above them.
Jimbo, this time at the end of the season, you'll be in the funny farm.
Well, I'm sticking to that.
We're without Odegaard and Saka.
Well, and everybody gets injuries. Everybody loses them. So if you lose 1 or 2 players, does that mean your team's shit? Of course it doesn't. You know, you can't make
I was wondering.
Everybody loses players through injuries and suspensions, and it's just.
I was wondering how long it would take. I was wondering how long it would take before but we've got injuries. Who didn't? Last season, it was somewhere between 19 to 23 separate injuries the Arsenal got. Tottenham had 30 odd. Our players were out for over 200 days longer than they were so fortunate with injuries last season, and their best players were available nearly all season long. And now they're bitching because Odegaard out because he got hurt, and Saka's finally limped so much that he's now developed a problem. Like, shut up. Every team gets injuries and we deal with it. We go on, and if it's not an excuse for one team, it's not an excuse for Arsenal. And Arsenal at their very best, very, very best, full tilt, foot to the floor, best players have only ever been second to Manchester City. That's fact.
I'll take that.
Oh no.
I'll take it, but if it's for the Legends on the Bench charity, Joey, I'll take that.
Oh my God, Jimbo,
I'll happily give 20 quid to the charity if I'm wrong. So I'll take that, Joey. Yes.
Oh my God, you might as well just give him the money now.
Why?
Because there is no way we're finishing above Arsenal, darling.
Oh, well, we'll see, won't we? If they go on like they're going on, we will.
Big up, Nick. Hope you had a good birthday on Saturday. Spurs certainly did their part to make it enjoyable. Jim is right. We will finish above Arsenal if both teams continue the same trajectory. Ange is far superior to Arteta. Blimey.
Get in there,
honestly, I don't know what's going on. I'm a bit fearful that Jim might be having a funny turn. Kate, please rein the man in. He's giving them too much oxygen.
Well, the thing is, I'm watching Matt write stuff in chat, and it's a load of crap, Matt. What you're writing, I'm sorry. You know, if you look at the football, right, and you look at the games, what you're saying is a complete load of rubbish. At least Vindaloo speaks sense. You know, you go on crying about Man City scoring. It was a goal. Just accept it. You know, it happens.
Yeah, you better put that bet in your phone as well. Bloody hell, we'd be destitute. I'll have to put the red light on if you carry on having these stupid bets. My intro will be Roxanne. We'll finish above them. It will be far closer. They realise. Oh my God, my head's gone tight. Funny Farm is where Arteta should be sent to, not Jimbo, as he has so much help and he's still falling. Yes. Ange Ball has won far more trophies than Arteta Ball. cherry pie for dessert. Jimbo! Yeah. Obviously, Villa won again at Fulham, 3-1 win. And just to touch on also Newcastle. What was the game, Jimbo, where they were pulling the shirt? How are
That
you?
was the Southampton game.
Oh, Southampton. Yeah, that was
That was. I tell you what.
outrageous.
That was just. That was.
Can I just say something very quickly? Something very quickly about this game. At halftime, Steve Cooper did exactly what Big Ant should have done against Brighton. Southampton were 2-0 up. Get this, Southampton were 2-0 up, and at halftime, what does Steve Cooper do? Steve Cooper takes off Oliver Skip and brings on Harry Winks. And ultimately, it was Harry Winks' corner.
Yeah.
I think it was the last minute of injury time that led to Jordan Ayew scoring the winner for Leicester City. So well done to Steve Cooper. Well done to Harry Winks as well.
Do you know what the funny thing was, Chang? In that game, they gave Oliver Skip 4 out of 10 as a player rating and said that he's one of the slowest players they've ever seen. So thank God we got rid of him. But yeah, just to touch on that penalty appeal with Jordan Ayew pulling the shirt and then he goes up and scores the winner. I mean, you couldn't make it out. When you're down at the bottom, these things go against you so badly. It was outrageous, Jim, wasn't it? We couldn't believe
the thing was, Jordan Ayew was pulling the Southampton guy's shirt. He was trying to run into the corner to head the ball, and he just had hold of his shirt. And his shirt was stretched like 2 feet stretched, 3 feet stretched. And then they give a penalty the other end for pulling a shirt that was nowhere near like what Ayew done. And it's just like, that's inconsistency.
Yeah, agreed. Before we finish, let me just go through and make sure I read all the questions. I want to say as well, tomorrow at 12, Jimbo and I have got a new show called The Perfect Match. And it is not a dating show. It sounds like one, but it isn't one. It's where we pick the players from this weekend's football who we believe have played the perfect match. The perfect match. And we will pick our 11 of players who have had standout performances over the weekend. And obviously, if you're in chat, you're welcome to come in and disagree with us or agree with us or pick someone different that we've overlooked. So yeah, we will be starting that show tomorrow from noon. So please do join us and we'll see if it's successful. If it's not, then we won't do it again, but we'll try. Any team that gives up a 2-goal halftime lead should be automatically relegated. Oh shit, wait, no, forget that. Jimbo, how was that not given? Felt so bad for Southampton. Nice assist from Walker Peters.
I know. I mean, that's when you talk about VAR being inconsistent, right? You won't get any more inconsistent than that because the guy at the other end, Vardy, was getting his shirt pulled. And I will admit, right, if he hadn't pulled Vardy's shirt, I think Vardy would have scored. So I'm going to be consistent there. So I think it did. It was a penalty, but it should have been a penalty the other end, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, bloody hell, Jordan Ayew's getting on as well. He's been seems to have been playing forever. But there we go.
His brother plays as well, isn't he?
Yeah, what's his brother's name?
I think he's
Andre.
Andre.
Is he at Cardiff?
I don't know.
I think he's at Cardiff. I think he is.
He might be. Don't worry, Coos. I'm not going to ask you to make it up. That kind of sounded like blankety blank. Perfect match. Perfect match. Doof doof. Yeah, it does. Do you know what? It does sound like a dating show, but I promise you it isn't. I promise you it isn't one. I've said from the beginning I want VAR out, only goal line and automated offsides. Yes. And no, I don't think his name is Peter Andre, but could be. It could be. Listen, Chang, thank you so much as always for coming on. For this wonderful, been one of my favourite shows. I can't think why. Must be all the smell of victory and the Arsenal tasty tears. It's been amazing. Chang, when can we find you next?
Assuming I have nothing from between now and our midweek Europa League game, I think I should be looking forward to doing yet another live watch along. I'm not sure this time whether it's going to be on LTEL or on Talk and Ball with Colin, but the Europa League midweek live watch along is the next one to do. And assuming we are still going to be doing a weekend preview on Friday, same time, same place, where we discuss. Where I'm sure we are going to discuss the Alkmaar midweek game. From the Thursday night before on Friday, as well as the preview for Palace. That's absolutely what I'm looking forward to come Friday. And that's all I have for the remainder of the week. Thank you so much for asking.
Excellent. Thanks as always, Chang. Apparently, The Perfect Match was a dating show in Australia in the 80s. Maybe Ange Postecoglou was on it. Who knows? AJ, have you got any plans? Are we going to see you anywhere?
Oh, well, you know me, I'll be diddling away somewhere. All I will say is the last two times I've subbed for Nick, he's won. He's finished top of the prediction charts. We're joint with Chang this week, and last time he was outright winner. So, you know, Nick, we doing things. We moving, buddy. But no, I'll just be around, just diddling away in the shadows.
No,
but that's the difference, isn't it?
It is what you do. This is why he doesn't have his camera on, because he's permanently diddling. What can we say to that? Much love to you, Leo. Thank you, AJ, for being a super sub and coming on at short notice.
You're welcome.
Thank you to everyone who's watching. Jimbo, are we going to find you anywhere?
Well, we had some super chats, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm going to do that in a minute.
Oh yeah, I'm on The Perfect Match tomorrow.
Excellent. I am on the Football Terrace tonight at 6 as well, repping the mighty Spurs. Thank you to Spurs GCTV. He's been a member for 8 months. Bobby K for his super chat. Love that. Where West Ham get battered? Everywhere they go. Big up Tom81, been a member for 6 months. Big up to Adrian Chia, who has been... Oh, no, that was a super chat. Thank you very much. And big up to Jess, who's been a member for 4 months. Benji is live at 2 p.m. If you stay where you are, you will be redirected to his stream. So make sure you stay and whack a like on his stream. We'll find Jim at the soup kitchen with all his gambling. You know, I just like
for charity, Joey. I don't mind if it's for charity.
I'd just like to say, Kuva, I didn't mention him once today. So no bingo today. No message of him at all. So yes, anyone that was waiting for that mention on the bingo card, you lost. But yeah, everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks to the Gooners for taking all the stick and for all the tears. Like I say, they tasted delicious. I've actually drunk them all and they tasted mighty fine. And yeah, thanks to everyone. Hopefully see you tomorrow at 12 for our new show. Jimbo, you're going to finish it as only you can.
Of course I'm going to finish it. I'm upbeat this week. Going to finish it. We're back with a bang. We are going to finish above Arsenal. Wait and see. You're all going to come here at the end of the season and say, oh my God, Jimbo must have a crystal ball. We are a better football team than Arsenal. We play better football. We don't park the bus. We go for it and we score goals, 4 goals in a game. Arsenal lose 2-0. We score 4. 4. They lost 2-0. We are the better team. We will finish above them. We are the mighty fucking Spurs.
Giving opinions with no regret, smashing the top bins like in the onion net. Talking the talk with Kate and Jim, and walking the walk, just listen in. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter. Mix and transfer news, it's what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jimbo always keeps a positive spin, while Kate's Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like Lenny, stop robbing, or she's just flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match.